So I know from personal experience and many stories that my clients have told me how our unrealistic expectations of ourselves can actually drive our failure. Welcome to the Less is More for Leaders podcast, the ultimate guide for leaders who want to achieve more by doing less. I'm Louise Ledbrook, a high-performance productivity coach and business leader with over 20 years experience. Get ready for a life-changing ride as my guests and I explore how you can create space in your life to focus on what truly matters, both in business and in your personal life. We'll be sharing simple yet powerful strategies and stories of success, so get ready to unleash your full potential. So whether it's social expectations, it could be pressure from family or friends that we feel to live up to a certain expectation. It can be as a result of lack of understanding of those people around us. It can be lack of our understanding as well of those people around us. We'll come back to that. But as a result, we end up putting this huge personal expectation on ourselves that we can be and do everything, not just for ourselves, but for everyone else as well. And we're afraid that if we're not, then we're not enough. Then who are we? What will people think of us? We're going to let everybody down. But ultimately, actually, we're hurting ourselves and those people by setting those expectations on ourselves. We're actually doing more harm than good. We're hurting our health and our wealth and ultimately our relationships as well. Yeah. So this need to do and be everything for everyone means that we don't look after ourselves. Yeah. It means that we're not being true to ourselves. We're not being purely us. We're not living our best lives. We're not being the best version of ourselves because we feel this need to be something, that we feel like we have this pressure of this expectation to be something that either we don't want to be or that we physically can't just live up to, right? And so in the end, we're not actually helping anybody. We're not helping ourselves, and we're not being able to help the people around us that we think we're trying to help the most, the best that we can, because all we're doing is scrambling the whole time to live up to these unrealistic expectations that we have of ourselves. Yeah. But we can change that story. We can change the narrative. We can look at things differently, and we should look at things a bit more rationally and logically, so that we can set realistic expectations of ourselves so that we can be successful, so we can be the best version of ourselves, and that we can live our best lives, okay? And by living our best lives, we get to achieve the things that we want. We can achieve our personal goals. We can achieve our business goals. By relieving ourselves of those unrealistic expectations, we get back mental and physical energy and capacity to put into other more meaningful things that are meaningful to us. Yeah. Now, these expectations, they stem from society, of course. For women, there is this unwritten expectation that we should be able to do everything. And I think a lot of it comes from the fact that once upon a time, women also do a lot, right, that is not seen, right? It's definitely not seen outside the house in a lot of cases, but it's just not seen full stop, because a lot of it is mental load. And once upon a time, women didn't have jobs. They definitely didn't have full-time jobs. And now we do. Yet statistically, we're still carrying the majority of the household burden, whether that's looking after the children, just looking after and managing the house. And I think if you've never done it, so if you're a man that's never done it, even if you're a female that's never done it, if you're still living at home at this point, remember this. There is a lot of work that goes into remembering to pay the bills. Just going, I got to clean the house today, cook the food, do the shopping, maintain the lawn, whatever it happens to be. They all take time and energy, and they're all great if you want to do those things. And I think there's a bit of a difference as well of when you are living on your own and you have to do those things, right? You have an expectation on yourself that you have to do those things because who else is going to do it, right? But when there's a partnership involved, whether it's living with other family members or your partner, your husband or wife, then there is an expectation as well, either from one or the other, that somebody will take that load. And maybe you'd love it to be both of you, but that expectation has not been set, and so it's maybe been put on to you. And so we have these historical expectations socially and from your family. So depending on your cultural background as well, of course, there's an expectation that as the female in the house, you will do certain things. The problem is today we also do other things. We run businesses, we run teams, and we do have families that we have to manage, and we do have households we have to manage, and they're full-time mental, physical loads in themselves. And so we are one human. And so we should be looking at taking on the responsibilities of one human, not multiple, right? When you feel like you're doing the job of 50 humans, something's wrong, okay? And I get that it can be tricky. It can be tricky to shift those expectations with other people, but just start to shift it yourself, okay? Start with what you can do. First, you need to shift that expectation yourself before you can even try and shift other people. Yeah. Now, another really important area that I would just want to touch on, and this is around our expectations that we create on ourselves, is comparison and judgment. Yeah. We look outside ourselves as well, and we go, that person's got their shit together. They can do it all. Why can't I? Yeah. So why am I so tired? Why am I feeling so terrible? Why am I feeling overwhelmed and exhausted? That person has shown up to school drop-off in their active wear, in a full face of makeup, so they obviously got up and did their makeup before they did their workout, and they brought cupcakes to school, and she runs her own business, you know? And so we see these people from the outside and we go, how come I can't get my shit together, right? You don't know what you don't know, for starters, and they don't know anything about you. You and that person are nothing alike. You may have children that go to the same school. You may work in the same workplace. You may walk your dog at the same dog park, but you are nothing alike in every way. Your home is different. Your vehicle is different. Your children are different. The amount of support that other family members that you have need is different. The stress you have at work is different. Your health is different. Your fitness levels are different. Everything is different. You cannot compare yourself against somebody else and then make a judgment of yourself and then set an expectation based on that judgment. It can never, ever be realistic, because you're just not the same. You're just not the same. You're not the same person. The way that you think about things, the way that you process information is different, right? I process information differently from the next person, and I know that, and so therefore I know in some cases I need more time to process certain types of information. I need more time to be creative because so what I do personally, I take in information. I'm excellent at going, give me 50 million pieces of information, give them all to me. I take them all in, but I can't then at the click of a finger disseminate it and come up with my solution in a way that I believe is always the right one. Sometimes I can because of experience and familiarity and yada yada. There's a whole lot of different factors, right? I like personally to sleep on it. I like to take that information, go away on my own with my own thoughts only and sleep on it and come up with solutions. Because then I feel confident that I've processed all the information and come up with the right solution. Not everyone's the same, right? That's just an example. So, when I go, oh man, that person, they're so quick-witted and they come up with this stuff in the meeting. But you know what? Then the next day they might go, oh, actually, now I've thought about it, I don't think that was right. Whereas I go, I don't want to come up with anything right now. I need to process it and then I'll come back to you. That's my process, okay? So then if I'm judging myself on the way someone else operates, it's just not realistic, okay? So this comes back to as well your specific health situation right now. We are all in different places. Some of us are going through menopause, perimenopause. Some of us are still going through puberty. Some are, aging and going through different health, cancer, chronic fatigue, burnout, excessive stress. Maybe you're going through divorce. Maybe you're going through, a child illness. All of these things create a different physical response and impact. And then you need to take those into consideration as well when you set expectations of yourself, okay? So if you're going through a divorce, which they say is one of the most stressful things that you can go through in your life, how can you possibly then think that you can give as much energy and focus to the other areas of your life as you did prior to that, at that time? It's just not realistic, okay? So you can't kind of go, all right, I can still run my business to the same level, do my job, run my team, be that person at the same level as I was prior to going through this divorce. Right, you'll come out the other side eventually, right? But during that event, you have to set realistic expectations, and that means, all right, I need to lower my expectations of what I'm capable of in the next 6 months while I'm at work, as an example, okay? Because what we do is by thinking that we can still do and be everything no matter what's going on in our lives, we then go, well, I failed at that, stuff that, or we blow our tops at someone, or things just get out of hand and everything starts falling in a heap, and you're like, shit hit the fan there, what happened there? I'm like, I'll tell you what happened there. You created a situation that drove that failure. You made a choice to set an expectation that was never going to be realistic, that you could never live up to. Okay? So stop piling on this mountain of responsibility onto yourself and setting yourself up for failure by these expectations that you can do and be it all. I want you to reset your expectations of yourselves. Be more realistic, right? About this time right now. I think this every time you set an expectation of yourself, it's a point in time expectation. What's going on in your life right now? Okay, shift your expectations, right? Because in 6 months you might be like, I am energized, I'm the fittest I've ever been, I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising, I've got all my health concerns under control. I can now focus on strategically scaling my business. Great, that's a good time. You got to kind of balance these things out. If you're like, my health is not great right now, and I'm trying to juggle a business. So if I want that business to be successful, I need to be perfectly successful, so I need to be in a position to do that. So my number one priority needs to be focused on rest and health and supporting my well-being, right? And then I will have to do less on my business because of that for a period of time until my health comes up. You see what I'm saying? So be realistic with your expectations. Reset your expectations based on the here and now, because this will mean you'll be more successful. You'll feel more successful. You'll feel good. You'll stop feeling like a failure. And you'll be more human. You are one human, remember? One human. You are one single human. So I want you to set some expectations based on being a single human. Be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, right? The world is hard enough without you being hard on yourself as well. Okay? So, thank you for joining me today. If you liked today's episode, like, share, subscribe, press all the buttons, do all the things so that you can come back and see more of this stuff. And if you want to do a little bit more with me, well, then join me in the Female Leaders Thriving with Chronic Fatigue free Facebook group. We have trainings and downloads and all sorts of great stuff in there to help you thrive in life and in business more sustainably. I want you to have sustainable success. I want you to have continued momentum, and that's the sort of things that I teach in that group. Hope to see you there.